Hello. Hi. Can everybody hear me? Thank you. Hi. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name is Michelle Ning and Chui. And before I begin, thank you very much for the land acknowledgement. I want to acknowledge that I live and work on Chief Dragi's territories, the homeland of the Yellowknives Dene Nation, part of Treaty 8. And I'm very grateful and honored to speak here at the event in Edmonton on Treaty 6 territories. As a Chinese immigrant, I carry deep gratitude for Indigenous community who cared for this land from time immemorial. And today our topic is wealth as resistance, investing mindset 101. But before I get into that, I will talk about my personal story and then we will see how it's translated into that. So, again, my name is Michelle Chui. I was a speech language pathologist working in a hospital. I'm a first-generation Chinese Canadian. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and I'm queer. I have a master's degree in University of Toronto. I have a stable partner. I have 2 dogs. I have a house. I have a car. Everything really cool, right? So, yeah, everything is awesome, right? I have a good salary, a respectable career, benefits, stability. Life looks super secure on paper. You know, what can you do wrong in the North with government salary and benefits, right? But not until I lost both my money security and my body security in 2023. I don't know if everybody remember this. When the wildfire hit Yellowknife in 2023 fall, the city was surrounded by fire. People were fleeing. The sky was bright orange, and I was suffocating. It felt like the end of the world. And that's when I was told by my superior, as a speech language pathologist, I was ordered to stay in the hospital. I texted my boss and explained that I really don't feel safe to work in an environment like this because the fire was 15 kilometers away from our town. And the whole town was surrounded by fire here and there. And she replied me with another text saying that there will be consequences if I leave. I have to stay here. I was already burning out at that time. I live with CPTSD, ADHD, and numerous of undiagnosed mental health disorder. I have been pushing through numerous breakdowns and tears, but forcing myself and tell myself I have to be grateful for what I had. And I asked myself at that time, am I willing to exchange my life for money for a system that doesn't really care about me? The answer is no. And the moment really broke me. I left with my family and I didn't go back. I fell into depression and I couldn't work anymore. The career I spent almost a decade building was gone. I've lost my body to burnout and my financial security also to a system that saw me as disposable. So as I was going through all these, one night I was talking to my wife about having children, about how we would teach them about managing money and, personal finance, and it hit me. I don't know nothing about money. I have no idea. So growing up in Hong Kong, I was taught to, get good grades, go to a good university, get a good job, get a good paycheck. When I moved to Canada at 19 years old, I keep this mindset, right? So I spent 16 years learning how to earn a paycheck. But when the paycheck is truly gone, I have no skills to make money. My dad used to tell me investing is like gambling. In my mind, I have no business to do with investing. It's only for rich people with disposable income. That's what I used to believe. But for my future children and myself, I have an obligation to learn everything about money, to grow and become a role model. So I started with the classic book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I played the board game Cash Flow, and that's where I started 2 years ago to learn about investing. So 2 years later, now, I'm no longer the same person. I'm a financial educator and a macro asset investor with a hedge portfolio across multiple asset classes, like real estate, stocks, option, crypto, precious metal, all these things. I do talks, and I also post on social media to make financial education more accessible to people. I want to make money talk less of a taboo. I'm also the founder of the NWT Women Financial Empowerment Club, which I foster a safe space for femme and non-binary folks to talk and learn about investing through workshops and gatherings in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. I'm passionate in supporting people to have agency over money, to have agency in life through collective wisdom. This is a movement to ultimately use wealth building to resist oppression, especially for queer, femme, and neurodivergent people. So when I talk about wealth as resistance, I don't mean queer folks buying all the designer bags, all the luxury cars, all these. I mean wealth as of safety, space, and having the power to say no. So the traditional financial and corporate system was built for predictability and conformity. They reward neurotypical focus, heterosexual family structures, and uninterrupted career paths. If we don't live in a box, the financial system labels us as risky and penalizes us. Most of us were never taught at school to build wealth. We were merely taught to survive by playing the rules set by a group of beneficiaries of those rules. Wealth as resistance means saying, you don't get to control me with fear anymore. It means going from exclusion to ownership, autonomy, and empowerment. So what does wealth as resistance look like in practice? How do we take this big idea of wealth building and turn it into something we can live and practice starting today? For me, it changed with how I think about money and my relationship with money. So in the next part, I will share 3 beliefs that I learned along the way of my journey to the 3 beliefs to ground and guide me in investing. So the first thing that I learned is to look into my fear. Our money decision is very emotional. It's not logical at all. Me and myself and a lot of friends start with this fear of what ifs in investing, right? Sometimes to the point of using a blanket statement saying that, investment is scary, I'm not doing it, right? These what ifs might sound like, oh, what if I lost everything? What if I mess up in investing? What if I trust in the wrong investment? If I lost money, what would people think of me, right? The fear and avoidance is even deeper for femme and non-binary folks because we have really few or no investor role models growing up. So instead of pushing the fear away, take a deep breath. Try to be gentle with yourself and be curious. Sit with the fear within. And be curious and ask yourself, where did that discomfort come from? Is it a legitimate fear, or is it a fear from the past, or does it originate from actually someone else's? Okay, if the fear is legitimate, is there a way to minimize it? Most of the time, we are creative enough to find some kind of solution to make it less scary. I believe sustainable investment starts with emotional honesty with yourself. So the second point is invest in what you believe. Every investor has prediction of what's happening in the world and what direction the society is going. Whether it's from company analysis, graphs, hearsay, YouTube, books, or your gut feeling. Maybe you believe in renewable energy and decentralized tech being the future. Maybe you think the world is falling apart. Maybe you think the opposite is true. When your investment reflects what you believe in, when your why is clear, putting money towards it becomes less scary. Our beliefs form the roots of our investment system, like a tree, which cultivates how our money tree grows. The market is unpredictable sometimes, and it will always fluctuate like weather. But when you understand why you're buying what you're buying, you're not shaken by every swing. Third is to be adaptive and flexible. When we started our investment, my partner and I bought a lot of real estate. We bought 5 properties a year. Crazy, right? Oh, well. Q&A. Well, it makes me, no, okay. I have 2 minutes. But it makes sense for our goal at that time, and that's the only thing we know. Years later, our priority changes, the world changes, and we grow too. So we decided to let go and sell half of what we owned and rotate the money into other asset classes. So being adaptive with money doesn't mean being impulsive. It means staying connected with the present self and the world. That's what long-term sustainability looks like, adaptability with intention. Just like a fish, if the fish wants to explore the land, so it becomes an amphibian, right? It has to evolve. When we look into our fear, invest in what we believe in, and stay adaptive, we stop being controlled by the system and start making money decisions that reflect who we truly are. This is what wealth as resistance look like in motion. Wealth isn't the opposite of being poor. It is the opposite of being powerless. Well, that's why I built the NWT Women Financial Empowerment Club, to make financial literacy accessible and healing. Because when we learn together, we rise together. Financial empowerment is activism. Thank you very much. Oh, this is the QR code to our Facebook group. And this is my social media information, so feel free to connect with me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that excellent presentation. I've never heard financial empowerment described that way. That was very helpful. Is our next speaker, Nis, in the room? I have not connected with them yet. So, yeah, that means we'll still have, yeah, we will have time for Q&A. Sure, yeah, sure. Michelle, are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do 5 minutes of Q&A with Michelle, and then we'll move into Vanessa's. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, Vanessa. Good job. All right. Yeah, questions. Yes.
And if you are asking questions, I need you to ask it into the microphone so we can do interpretation.
Knowing what you know now, what would you say your recommendations for first steps are for folks who are trying to pursue like a similar journey?
I would really recommend you to put your intention forward and tell everybody about it. That's how my brain works. And when you say you want to invest and you talk to enough people, you will start to feel like, oh, okay, I am kind of like an investor now. I have that mindset. And you don't have to start with something that is huge. Maybe your first step is opening a Wealthsimple account or any accounts, putting $10 in it. That is investment. Buying a stock is actually not that expensive. It's like $3 maybe for a share. You can just do that, right? So just by taking steps and starting your inertia into exploring it, again, the fear is scary, right? I think that's, for me, the biggest thing that holds me back. What if I, lost all my money? Oh my God, am I doing the wrong thing? I'm testing out with my money, but yeah, it doesn't have to be big. The experiment can be small. So don't think of like investment as like something very grand. You can always start small. Did that answer your question? Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Well, Simple always has great incentive to invest as well. Right now, they're giving away a 1K gold bar.
Whoa.
So open an account. Yeah. But my question is, how do you get your partner on board for some investments?
Very.
I have an investor mindset, but I have to convince.
Oh, okay. All right. Sometimes leading by role model, but actually is the other way around. My partner actually let me, she is my role model. So at first, when I was so scared of not knowing how to invest, she was the one who jumped into it and buy like ETFs and stuff. And I was like, okay, I guess I will just copy what you do. And then I did it. So actually, if you are in that seat, being the one who has an investing mindset, yeah, you can just describe what you're doing. When the conversation comes out, I was like, oh, well, I'm buying stock, and then you can just show it to them, right? So lead by role model, people will be, like your partner might be curious. And yeah, sometimes it starts with conversation and setting them up in that environment.
Great. Do we have other questions? Yeah.
So I'm lucky enough to be a member of the NWT Women's Financial Empowerment Group, and I'm so grateful that you started it, Michelle. I was wondering if you could expand a little bit on that group, the types of people who go, and the things that have been happening in that organization.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm super happy to have Robin in our group and in our gathering. Robin, yourself, you are a founder of a huge organization. You are an entrepreneur yourself. So we have entrepreneurs, we have investors of all of different asset classes, and they are all like powerful femme or non-binary identifying individuals. Like we have real estate investors, we have precious metals investors, we have entrepreneurs who does different industry. We also have people who think they might not have confidence in doing investment, and single mother, like femme and non-binary individuals from all walks of life. And it doesn't, our group really, my intention is to actually have people who know nothing and who are scared of investment to join, almost like a sorority kind of thing, and to uplift everybody together to make like the money talk less scary. And we usually do it over dinner gathering once a month, and sometimes I will also invite people to workshops. Yeah, so really to break the barriers and the fear of starting investment or talking about money.
Great. We have time for one more. If there is another question. Okay, we got one.
A two-part question. First part is, do you do any online? Because I'm from New Brunswick, and I don't think there's anything like this, anyways, that I've seen. I'm looking at Pascal because she knows. But maybe we should start our own thing in New Brunswick.
Absolutely.
But I'm wondering, how do you do any online presence or anything like that? Yeah. And do you have any tools or, anything you can recommend to us kind of starting out and just, starting at, I already have some investments, but I'd like to do more, but I guess when you grow up in a mindset of being poor all the time and of scarcity, even though you have to change your mindset, it's still really tough. So it's always that reminding yourself of it.
Yes. I think, sorry, what is, my ADHD brain is like a fish brain. The first part, what was that?
Part one was online tools.
Yes, online tools. I would actually, again, I formed this group like a year ago, and it is still constantly evolving. And I would love to, and myself too, as a financial educator, I'm also growing and expanding myself. So if you would love to talk to me, and connect with me, I would so love to speak to everybody here. Yeah, but I would say like the mindset is so typical, like just, the fear, right? Like that's what I said in the first point, right? The fear of like knowing what you know with like all your past, right? That is how your pattern is. And without everybody, like anyone surrounding you with a different mindset or role models, it is pretty tough to do it alone. That's why like group like that is really amazing. So I would suggest just talk to your friends again, just like how I answered before. Maybe just talk about you want to learn investing, putting your mindset or manifesting it by saying it to your friends. And maybe, and I'm actually pretty sure you would have another friend who has kind of a similar line of thoughts. They probably would want to do something with investing or money. But because this kind of topic is not brought up in daily conversations, right? And sometimes there are taboos with talking about money. But yeah, a lot, eh? But if you are a little bit brave enough to put the intention out there, to talk a little bit about you want to learn about money, learn about investing, and if you want to start a sharing circle, that's where we started organically, right? A group of friends talking about it, and then sooner or later, open invitation to other people, and then everybody, even people who thought they have no skills to bring or contribute to the table, every single time they have something really valuable for us to learn. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
All right, and next, Vanessa.